Hello, heroes. Welcome back to Take Me to Troy. This is episode 3, The Judgment of Paris. This is it, people, where it all happens. Okay, so in this increasingly complex story, what happens is, flashback to last time, the wedding of Peleus and Thetis, the apple of discord, the fight between the goddesses, discord. So what we ended with was Athena, Hera, and Aphrodite all walking towards Zeus in order to ask him who he thought was the fairest one of all. So that's exactly what they do. And poor Zeus, sitting there on his throne, sitting back, I'm having fun at the wedding. Your fun is about to end. The three goddesses approach him, and they say, "Oh, Zeus, please tell us who's the fairest of them all." And they hold up the apple. Zeus looks, first of all, to his wife, Hera, queen of the gods. It has not been easy with her. Yeah, she was pretty when they got married, and maybe they had a few good years there, but his wandering eye has gotten him in a lot of hot water with her over the years, and she's gotten kinda bitter. And when she gets bitter and angry, his life gets miserable. So, oh my goodness, heaven help him if he does not give the apple to his wife. Then he looks at Athena standing next to her, his favorite child. She is the apple of his eye. Oh my goodness. How can any father not choose his daughter as the fairest one of all? It's kind of like it goes against nature. And then he looks at Aphrodite. Oh my goodness. I mean, logically, if you're thinking, hey, she's the goddess of love and beauty. If she's the goddess of beauty, wouldn't she just naturally be the most beautiful one of all, the fairest one of all? You may think that, but again, he's got his wife and daughter. He doesn't want to make them mad. But then again, if he doesn't pick Aphrodite as goddess of love, she's had her son Eros go shoot some love-filled arrows at quite a few mortal and divine women in order for Zeus to be able to seduce them. She knows a lot of secrets. He doesn't want to tick her off because, oh my gosh, then his wife will find out. So poor Zeus is actually in a dilemma. He looks from one to the other of these three women, and he's faced with this really tough decision. What's he to do? What's he to do? This is a hair puller outer. So really, what does he do? Well, he's a man, so he's going to do what every single man that I've ever known in my whole entire life always does when asked a question, hey, do these pants make my butt look fat? Or, do these shoes match this outfit, honey? Men are smart. They know where it's at. They know what's going to get him in trouble. So any man worth his salt, when asked a question that involves a judgment call relating to how a woman looks, they're all going to do the same thing. Again, men are smart creatures. They know which side their bread is buttered on, and they don't want to mess it up. Zeus does what all of them do. He completely evades the issue. If you ask your husband, hey, does this outfit make me look fat? He knows he's got nothing to win by saying, yeah, actually, honey, they do. That would be bad. But then again, if he says, oh no, you look great, and then later she goes to that party and one of her friends says, dude, who told you could leave the house like that? She's also going to be mad. So again, men know what's what, and Zeus is no exception. So he totally skirts the issue, and he looks at these women. He looks at his wife, and he says, Hera, love of my life. Oh my goodness, of course you're the fairest of them all to me. I gotta think of the whole of humanity, though. And, if it were up to me, I would totally choose you, Hera. But there's my daughter, Athena. Isn't she wonderful? Ugh, Athena, you're the apple of my eye. Of course I want to choose you. You're my daughter. But then he looks at Aphrodite and he says, oh, Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, you bring beauty into the world. How could I not give this apple to you? I want to give this apple to each of you, but I'm not Solomon. I don't have a knife sharp enough to slice it into 3, and who would want it anyway? Nobody wants a sliced golden apple. So I think I'm going to have to defer because, I'm too biased. I think all of you are beautiful. I just find it impossible to distinguish one of your beauty from the next 2 lovely, beautiful goddesses. But I do have a plan. I might be too biased. However, I've heard tell of this mortal guy. Pretty young guy he is, too. He seems to have already earned a reputation for being a really fair judge of character. Why don't you 3 go check this guy out? Show him the golden apple. Tell him that he's been honored by the gods. He gets to make this decision. He's never met either one of you, so the answer that he gives is gonna be the true answer. What a clever solution, the goddesses think. They agree to this. So Zeus sends them on their way and goes back to celebrating at the wedding. Meanwhile, the 3 goddesses venture down from Mount Olympus, do a little quick goddess traveling to Mount Ida, where a young man named Paris is watching over his father's sheep. Okay, now a little bit about Paris. Again, I fast forwarded through time. Yes, you're right. This is the little baby that was Prince of Troy, who was fated to destroy the city of Troy, so his parents left him on the mountainside. This is the same kid, only he's not a kid anymore. He's grown up. Think of him as about 18-ish years old, and he has spent a very happy yet very uneventful childhood and young adulthood on this mountain with his shepherd parents. It just so happens that Zeus was right. He has gained a reputation for being a really fair and impartial judge. The whole thing came about at this country fair where he took a ram that he'd raised from a little lamb, and it was supposed to be judged, like the McHenry County Fair or whatever. And in the process of his ram getting judged as to fleece and horns and whatever else they judge rams by, the whole contest comes down to between Paris's ram and this other guy's ram. And the judges award Paris the prize, but Paris steps back and he's, there's my ram, there's the other ram. Which one looks better? Hey guys, I'm really sorry, but I gotta say, I don't think my ram should win this contest. This guy's ram, the horns are a little bit more symmetrical, and I really think he should have the prize. Wow, right? Wow! Who does that? Who turns away a major award? Paris did, which is why he's had this short but very widespread reputation as a very impartial judge. And that's why the goddesses are sent to him. So anyway, this one particular afternoon, he's sitting there looking at his sheep. Again, he's 18-ish years old, and he's thinking kind of bummed out thoughts. He's a teenager. He hasn't really seen much of the world except for this mountainside, and every day he's thinking, geez, every single day of my life going forward, as long as I can see into the distance, is going to be spent with these sheep. I don't know what it is. They're nice and all, but I just really don't want to watch these sheep for the rest of my life. He only has one to live. He thinks, I'm young. I want to see adventure. I want to get out into the world. I want to do something else. I just feel like this whole shepherd thing, it doesn't feel like me. I don't feel like I belong here. This is the direction his thoughts are taking when, off in the distance, he sees 3 very beautiful women approaching him. And as they get closer, he notices that these are not like any women he's ever seen on the mountainside. You know, they have their wrinkled hands from all the washing in the river, and they've got their biceps, which it's a good thing to be fit, ladies. I'm not, saying that you shouldn't be in shape, but, big, huge muscles from lifting those sheep up from time to time. Those are the kind of burly women that he's been coming into contact with. And here are these really curvaceous women that have fancy hairdos, and their clothes are practically see-through. I mean, Goddess's dress really, really, well, I'll let you use your imagination. They're drop-dead gorgeous, and he's never seen anything like them, and they sort of glow. So as they get closer, Paris's eyes get bigger and bigger in his head, and finally these goddesses come up close enough to him, and they say, Paris, you have been honored by the gods. You've been chosen. We have this golden apple, it says, for the fairest, and we're giving you the honor since you have such a good reputation as being a fair and impartial judge. You choose which of us gets this golden apple. And Paris is basically, okay, without much argument. So before he can even really say anything, though, Hera strides up to him and she says, Paris, I just feel like it's only fair before you make this important decision that I let you know, I am queen of the gods. If you choose me as the fairest of them all, I will put you in charge of the most powerful country in the world. You will be king. Everybody will have to do what you say. And with this powerful country and the kingship that's involved comes unimaginable wealth. This to the guy who thought he was going to be watching sheep for the rest of his life? He thinks that sounds pretty good. But before he can say anything, Athena strides up to him, and she says to him, Paris, it's only fair. You need to know the whole picture. I'm the goddess of wisdom. I like everybody to know all sides. Here's the deal if you pick me as the fairest of them all. As goddess of wisdom, I will instill in you really, really good judgment so that you will always make the right decision after being informed. And you will use this power to make the good decisions that you can make in war. I am the goddess of warfare as well. I can put you at the head of the most powerful army in the world, and with my guidance and my good judgment that I will bestow on you, you will perform deeds on the battlefield that men will sing of for generations upon generations. You will be so famous that people are going to be talking about you for thousands of years to come. Paris is like, battle! That sounds really exciting, and I could be in charge, and I could do great deeds. Wow, that would be great. But before he can even say anything, Aphrodite sidles up to him, and she gets in really close, and she whispers in his ear, Paris, if you choose me as the fairest of them all, I will give you the most beautiful woman in the world to be your wife. So, what do you think he chooses? Or who do you think he chooses? His choices are wealth and power versus fame on the battlefield versus love. I'm going to let you ponder that while I get the next episode ready for you. Farewell, heroes. Back in a